Nathan Pierce stepped through the grand entrance of the Meridian Plaza Hotel, exhaustion weighing down every step he took. The past month had been a relentless marathon of investor meetings, product launches, and corporate negotiations that stretched across 3 continents. His technology company had just secured its largest funding round, making headlines in every business publication. Yet despite the celebration emails flooding his inbox, Nathan felt strangely empty inside. The lobby bustled with evening activity as guests checked in and out. Crystal chandeliers cast warm light across marble floors that reflected like mirrors. Nathan barely registered the opulence surrounding him. After staying in countless luxury hotels, they all blurred together into one generic experience of expensive furniture and impersonal service. His phone rang again, displaying his assistant's name for the 5th time that hour. Nathan declined the call and silenced the device. What he needed more than anything was solitude, a quiet space where nobody wanted anything from him. Just 12 hours of peace before tomorrow's board meeting would consume his attention once more. The front desk clerk handed him a sleek key card with practiced efficiency. "Room 318, she explained with a professional smile, directing him toward the elevators on the west wing. Nathan thanked her absently, already mentally checking out of the interaction. The 3rd-floor hallway stretched before him in a pattern of identical doors and soft burgundy carpeting. Nathan's mind wandered to tomorrow's agenda as he stopped at what he believed was his assigned room. The key card slid into the electronic lock with a familiar beep. The light flashed green, granting him access without hesitation. He pushed the door open and froze completely. A young woman stood near the window, caught mid-motion as she arranged fresh towels on the bathroom counter. She wore the hotel's standard housekeeping uniform, a navy blue dress with white trim that somehow looked elegant on her slender frame. When she spun around at the sound of the door opening, her eyes went wide with genuine surprise. Nathan felt heat rush to his face, something that rarely happened to him anymore. "I apologize completely," he stammered, taking an awkward step backward. "I must have confused my room number." The woman blinked several times, then glanced at the housekeeping cart positioned just outside in the hallway. "You have the wrong room," she confirmed softly, her voice carrying a musical quality that made Nathan pause. "This is 318. Your room is probably 319, right across the hall." Something about her tone made Nathan look at her more carefully. She had expressive brown eyes that seemed to hold depths of untold stories. Her dark hair fell in natural waves past her shoulders, and despite the tiredness evident in her features, there was a quiet strength in how she carried herself. Nathan recognized that particular exhaustion because he saw it reflected in his own mirror every single morning. "I am Nathan," he heard himself say, uncertain why he felt compelled to introduce himself to a hotel employee. "Nathan Pierce." The woman hesitated before responding, as if weighing whether to share her name. "Olivia," she finally offered. "Olivia Chen." The way she said her name carried an unexpected weight, like someone bearing an invisible burden that nobody else could perceive. Nathan had built his fortune by understanding people, by reading the unspoken messages behind their words and gestures. Right now, Olivia Chen was not saying far more than she was revealing. "Are you all right?" he asked before his better judgment could intervene. Olivia's eyebrows lifted slightly. "That is an unusual question to ask a complete stranger you just met." "Perhaps," Nathan acknowledged with a slight shrug. "But you look like someone who could use a friendly ear." They stood in that hotel room for a suspended moment, the outside world fading into background noise. Something unspoken passed between them, a recognition of shared loneliness that transcended their vastly different circumstances. Nathan watched as Olivia's carefully maintained composure slipped just a fraction, revealing vulnerability underneath. "I am managing," she said quietly, though her voice wavered on the last word. "Just another long day in a series of long days." Nathan knew he should apologize again and leave. That would be the sensible, appropriate response to this accidental intrusion. But something kept him standing there, curiosity mixing with genuine concern for this stranger who somehow felt less like a stranger with each passing second. "When did someone last ask how you truly were?" he ventured carefully. Olivia laughed, but the sound carried bitterness rather than humor. "A very long time ago." She set down the towels she had been holding and crossed her arms, not defensively but as if physically holding herself together. "Why would you care about that?" "Honestly," Nathan leaned against the doorframe, "I spent the last 4 weeks surrounded by people who only see me as a means to an end. You are the first person in recent memory who looks at me like I am just some regular guy who walked into the wrong room by mistake." "You are not regular though," Olivia gestured toward his expensive tailored suit and the luxury watch on his wrist. "People in your world do not usually notice people in mine." The observation stung precisely because it rang true. How many hotel housekeepers had Nathan passed without truly seeing them as individuals? How many service workers did he interact with daily who remained invisible because they held no relevance to his business objectives? "You are absolutely right," he admitted with unexpected honesty. "I apologize for that." Olivia seemed caught off guard by his candor. She studied his face for several heartbeats, then sighed deeply. "You should go find your actual room. I need to finish my work here." But Nathan did not move. "What do you do when you are not working at this hotel?" The question clearly surprised her. "I design clothes," she answered slowly, as if testing the words. "At least I used to design. I had earned a full scholarship to the Fashion Institute. Everything was arranged." "What stopped you?" Nathan asked gently. "Life happened." Olivia's voice flattened, becoming emotionally neutral. "Family needed financial support. Dreams do not cover medical bills or rent." Nathan felt something tighten in his chest. He understood sacrifice on a personal level. His own mother had worked multiple jobs simultaneously to fund his education before his startup achieved success. But he had been fortunate. His risks had paid off. Olivia had not received that same chance. "What if those dreams could still happen?" he proposed. "What if you could still become a designer?" Olivia shook her head, sadness crossing her features. "You really do not understand how reality works for most people. I have responsibilities that cannot be ignored. My younger brother is in college. My mother requires expensive medication. And I have debts that grow larger regardless of how many extra shifts I take." "What kind of debts?" Nathan asked directly. She paused, internal debate visible in her expression. Then she seemed to reach a decision about trusting him. "My ex, Vincent Kane. He loaned me money when my mother fell seriously ill. I thought he was being generous and caring. Turns out he just wanted control over me. Now he essentially owns my life." The name triggered immediate recognition in Nathan's mind. Vincent Kane. He knew that name from business circles, knew his reputation for ruthless tactics and exploiting vulnerable people. The thought of him having any power over Olivia made anger rise in Nathan's throat. "You do not owe him anything," Nathan said firmly. Olivia laughed that same bitter laugh. "Tell that to the legal contract I signed. Tell that to the compounding interest. Tell that to his lawyers who contact me weekly with threats. How much do you owe him?" Olivia stared at Nathan as if he had lost his mind completely. "Why would you possibly ask me that?" "Because I want to help you," Nathan answered simply. "You do not even know me." Her voice rose with emotion. "We literally just met because you entered the wrong room by accident. You cannot just throw money at a complete stranger's problems." "Why not?" Nathan pushed back. "I have more resources than I could spend in 3 lifetimes. And for the first time in months, I actually care about something beyond quarterly earnings reports. So tell me the amount." $70,000, Olivia whispered. "With the interest Vincent keeps adding, it will reach 80 by next month." Nathan pulled out his phone immediately. "Consider it handled." "Wait, stop." Olivia crossed the room quickly and placed her hand over his phone screen. Just stop. You cannot do this. Vincent will find out. He will ask questions. He will make everything worse for me and my family. Then we do not inform him yet. Nathan met her eyes directly. We figure this out together carefully. But first, let me help you breathe freely again. Tears filled Olivia's eyes. Why would you do this for me? You do not know anything about me. Nathan did not have a logical explanation. He barely knew this woman. But something about Olivia had opened a part of his heart that he had kept locked away for years. The part that remembered struggling. The part that still believed some things were worth fighting for beyond profit margins. Because someone should help, he said with simple honesty. And because when I walked into this room, I was just going through the mechanical motions of existing. And now, for the first time in forever, I feel truly alive and present. Olivia wiped her eyes with trembling hands. You must be crazy to do this. Probably, Nathan smiled gently. But do you accept my help? She looked at him for what felt like an eternity. Nathan could see the internal war playing out behind her eyes. Fear battling hope. Caution wrestling with desperation. Finally, she took a shaky breath that seemed to come from her soul. If we do this, she said carefully, Vincent absolutely cannot discover it came from you. He will view it as a challenge. He will retaliate against both of us. Then we will be strategic. Nathan felt energy coursing through him. The same energy he experienced when closing major business deals. But this felt different. This mattered in ways that business never had. We can transfer the money through a trust, make it appear like an inheritance or grant. There are legal ways to accomplish this. I do not have any deceased relatives with money, Olivia pointed out. Then we create an educational fund that pays off student-related debts. Trust me, Olivia. I know how to navigate these situations. She laughed, and this time it sounded genuine. This is completely insane. I should probably call security about the eccentric billionaire who wants to pay off my debts. But you will not, Nathan said softly. No, Olivia admitted. I will not. They stood in that hotel room as afternoon light shifted toward evening. Outside, the city continued its endless rhythm of activity. But inside room 318, two lives had collided in a way that would alter both of their paths forever. Nathan's phone buzzed insistently with another call from his assistant. He ignored it completely. For the first time in years, business could wait until tomorrow. Something more important had entered his life. Meet me for dinner tonight, he suggested. We will work out all the details properly. Olivia bit her lower lip. I work until 9 o'clock. Then meet me at 9:30, Nathan proposed. There is a small restaurant 2 blocks from here called Rosa's Kitchen. Nobody will recognize us there. What if someone sees us together? Olivia worried. Then they will see 2 people having dinner and conversation. Nathan moved toward the door, then paused. Olivia? Yes? Thank you. For what? She asked, confused. For reminding me what it feels like to care about something real instead of just profitable. After Nathan left, Olivia stood alone in the empty room for a long time, her heart racing with emotions she could not name. She should have refused his offer. She should have closed the door on this impossible situation before it became more complicated. But for the first time in 2 very long years, she felt something other than trapped and hopeless. She felt the dangerous stirring of hope, and that was the most terrifying feeling of all. Olivia stood in front of the small mirror in the staff locker room, her hands trembling slightly as she tried to smooth down her hair. She had changed out of her housekeeping uniform into the only presentable dress she owned, a simple emerald green piece she had actually designed and sewn herself 3 years ago. The fabric still held up well, though the style felt somewhat dated now. It felt strange wearing anything other than her work clothes. It felt even stranger that she was about to have dinner with someone like Nathan Pierce. Her younger brother Tom had sent her 4 text messages asking when she would be home. Olivia had told him she was working a late shift, helping with a special event in the hotel ballroom. The lie settled uncomfortably in her chest, but she could not explain the truth yet. She barely understood it herself. Rosa's kitchen occupied a cozy corner spot between a used bookstore and a small flower shop. Through the front window, Olivia could see Nathan already seated at a quiet table in the back, looking at his phone with focused concentration. He had changed into casual clothes, dark jeans and a simple gray sweater that made him look more approachable, more human, less like the powerful businessman from earlier. The small bell above the door chimed softly as Olivia entered. Nathan glanced up immediately, and his entire face transformed with a warm smile that made her stomach flutter unexpectedly. "You came," he said, standing up with obvious relief in his voice. "I almost did not," Olivia admitted as she slid into the chair across from him. "This feels like something from a movie or a novel. Things like this do not happen to regular people like me." "Maybe they should happen more often," Nathan replied, gesturing for the waiter. "What kind of food do you enjoy eating?" Olivia could not help but laugh softly. "You are asking someone who wanted to be a fashion designer what she likes to eat?" Nathan smiled. "Former designer, you said earlier. But I disagree with that description. You are still a designer. Dreams do not die just because we stop chasing them temporarily." The waiter arrived with menus, and Olivia found herself gradually relaxing as they ordered. Nathan asked her genuine questions about fashion design, about the collections she had dreamed of creating, about the boutique she had once imagined opening in the arts district downtown. And he truly listened. Not the polite listening people do while waiting for their turn to speak, but real listening where her words seemed to matter to him. "When I was 19, Olivia said, absently turning her water glass in circles, I entered a regional design competition. The grand prize was a full scholarship to the Fashion Institute of Design. I spent 4 months creating my collection. 7 pieces that told a story about transformation and resilience." "Did you win?" Nathan asked, leaning forward with genuine interest. "I placed second," Olivia replied. "But the head judge, Miranda Valdez, she pulled me aside afterward. She told me I had exceptional vision and natural talent. She said I should apply to the institute anyway, that she would personally write my recommendation letter." She smiled at the bittersweet memory. "I was accepted 4 months later with a complete scholarship. Everything was arranged. I had my dorm assignment, my class schedule, everything planned perfectly." "So what changed?" Nathan asked gently. "Why are you not there now?" "My father had a massive stroke the week before orientation began." Olivia's voice dropped to barely above a whisper. "He survived, but the medical bills were devastating. Insurance covered some costs, but not enough. Not nearly enough. My mother could not manage everything alone. Tom was only 15, just starting high school with his own dreams. Someone needed to step up and handle things." "And you sacrificed your dream," Nathan said softly. "It was not sacrifice," Olivia met his eyes. "It was choosing family. I would make that same decision again without hesitation." "I know you would," Nathan replied. "That is what makes you remarkable." They talked steadily through dinner, and Olivia was surprised by how naturally conversation flowed between them. Nathan shared stories about his own humble beginnings, about his single mother who had worked 3 jobs to support him, about the small tech startup he had launched from a cramped apartment that had somehow evolved into a major corporation. He did not brag or exaggerate. He simply shared his journey like it was something ordinary. "The real problem with success," Nathan said as they finished their meal, "is that everyone wants something from you constantly. Every conversation becomes a negotiation. Every friendship comes with hidden agendas and expectations. I cannot remember the last time someone talked to me simply because they wanted to know me as a person." "Is that why you are here with me?" Olivia asked carefully. Because I do not want anything from you? Nathan considered this thoughtfully. Maybe that was true initially. But now I am here because you make me feel like myself again. Like I am more than just my net worth and business connections. Olivia's phone suddenly buzzed loudly on the table. She glanced at the screen and felt ice flood through her veins. Vincent's name flashed across the display with an incoming call. She declined it immediately, but her hands were shaking visibly. Who was that? Nathan asked, noticing her reaction instantly. Vincent. Olivia wrapped her arms around herself. He calls every night around this time. Just to remind me that he is always watching, always aware of everything I do. Does he hurt you physically? Nathan's voice had gone cold. Not with his hands, Olivia said quietly. But there are many ways to hurt someone. He appears at the hotel sometimes, talks to my managers about my work performance, my reliability. He makes subtle threats about Tom's safety, about my mother's health. He never says anything directly actionable, just implications and suggestions that leave me terrified. Nathan's jaw tightened visibly. That is completely unacceptable behavior. It is my reality. Olivia tried to smile but failed. This is exactly why your offer terrifies me so deeply. If Vincent discovers someone helped me escape his control, he will see it as direct interference in his plans. He will escalate everything. Then we need to be extremely careful. Nathan reached across the table and took her hand. His touch felt warm and steady and safe. But we also need to free you from his control as soon as possible. The money transfer first, then we figure out the rest together. Over the following week, Olivia and Nathan met every evening after her shift ended. They kept their meetings carefully secret, choosing different small restaurants and quiet cafes far from the hotel district. Sometimes they simply walked along the riverside park, talking about everything and nothing at all. Nathan told her about complex business deals and challenging board meetings. Olivia taught him about different fabric types and shared design sketches from her old portfolio that she still kept hidden in her closet. On their fourth meeting, they sat on a wooden bench overlooking the water when Nathan asked about her friend Maria Santos, the head of housekeeping who had supervised her. Maria saved my life in many ways, Olivia said, watching moonlight dance across the river surface. When Vincent first started controlling me, making me quit design school, isolating me from my friends and support network, Maria noticed something was wrong. She offered me the housekeeping position when I desperately needed income. No questions asked, no judgment. Just pure kindness. She sounds like a wonderful person, Nathan observed. The absolute best, Olivia agreed. She keeps telling me I deserve better than Vincent, that I should fight back against him. But she does not fully understand how deeply his control extends into every part of my life. Maybe it is time to let someone help you fight, Nathan said quietly. On their seventh evening together, everything changed dramatically. Olivia was finishing her housekeeping shift when Maria pulled her aside urgently in the linen supply room. Her mentor's face showed deep worry and concern. We need to talk privately, Maria said, closing the door firmly. Vincent Kane checked into this hotel 3 hours ago. He has been asking very specific questions about you and your activities. Olivia felt the entire room seem to tilt sideways. What kind of questions exactly? About your work schedule, Maria explained. About who you have been spending time with recently. About any changes in your behavior or routine. She gripped Olivia's shoulders firmly. One of the front desk staff, that new girl Rachel, she told Vincent she has seen you several times with a hotel guest named Nathan Pierce. Is that true? There was no point in lying to Maria. Yes, Olivia whispered. Do you understand who Nathan Pierce actually is? Maria's eyes were filled with concern. He is one of the most successful technology entrepreneurs in the entire country. And Vincent knows him personally. They have done business together in the past. Olivia felt her blood turn to ice. What? Vincent and Nathan were involved in some kind of business deal 2 years ago, Maria continued. It ended badly from what I heard. There was a lawsuit, accusations of unethical practices. Nathan won the case, and Vincent lost a substantial amount of money and reputation. She looked directly into Olivia's eyes. If Vincent thinks you are involved with Nathan, if he believes Nathan is helping you escape, this will become so much worse. Vincent will see it as personal revenge, as Nathan deliberately taking something that belongs to him. I need to warn Nathan, Olivia said, already reaching for her phone. Be very careful, Maria cautioned. Vincent has people watching. He always has people watching. Olivia sent Nathan a quick text message asking him to meet her immediately at their usual spot by the river. She left through the hotel's service entrance, checking constantly to see if anyone was following her. Nathan was already waiting when she arrived, concern written across his features. What happened? Olivia explained everything Maria had told her, watching Nathan's expression darken with each word. When she finished, he was silent for a long moment, staring out at the water. I should have anticipated this, Nathan finally said. Vincent Kane and I have history. Unpleasant history involving a business acquisition that he handled unethically. I exposed his practices, and he lost everything in that deal. He looked at Olivia with regret. I am so sorry. I did not think about how my involvement might complicate things for you. This is not your fault, Olivia said firmly. But we need to figure out what to do next. We move forward carefully but quickly, Nathan decided. I will arrange the money transfer tomorrow through my lawyers. We will set it up as a grant from an educational foundation that pays off student-related family debts. Completely legitimate and untraceable back to me directly. What if Vincent still suspects? Then we deal with that when it happens. Nathan took both her hands. But I will not let him hurt you. I promise you that. Olivia wanted to believe him. But she knew Vincent better than Nathan did. She knew how vindictive he could be, how far he would go to maintain control over what he considered his possessions. That night, Olivia returned home to find Tom waiting up for her in the small kitchen of their apartment. Her brother looked worried and confused. Where have you been going every night? Tom asked directly. And do not tell me you are working late. I called the hotel earlier, and they said you clocked out hours ago. Olivia sat down heavily at the table. I met someone, she admitted. Someone who wants to help us with our financial problems. Tom's eyes widened. The Vincent debt? Yes. Her brother leaned forward. Who is this person? How did you meet them? His name is Nathan, Olivia said carefully. I met him at the hotel. And before you ask, yes, he knows about Vincent. He knows everything. And he still wants to help. Tom sounded skeptical. He does, Olivia confirmed. But it is complicated. There is history between Nathan and Vincent that I did not know about. Tom was quiet for a moment, then spoke seriously. Do you trust this Nathan person? Olivia thought about the question carefully. Yes, she finally answered. I do trust him. For the first time in a very long time, I feel like someone actually cares about what happens to me. Then I trust your judgment, Tom said simply. But please be careful. Vincent is dangerous when he feels threatened. The next morning, Olivia woke to a text message from Nathan saying the money transfer was arranged and would process within 2 business days. Relief flooded through her, mixed with anxiety about what would happen next. She went to work as usual, trying to maintain her normal routine. But everything felt different now. Every guest she passed in the hallways, every phone call to her cell, every unexpected sound made her jump nervously. Around midday, while she was cleaning rooms on the 5th floor, her phone rang. Vincent's name appeared on the screen. Olivia's heart hammered as she answered. Hello, she said, trying to keep her voice steady. Olivia, Vincent's smooth voice came through. We need to talk. Meet me in the hotel lobby restaurant at 3 o'clock today. I am working until 6, Olivia protested. Take a break, Vincent said coldly. This is not optional. The line went dead. Olivia stood frozen in the hotel room, fear coursing through every nerve in her body. She quickly texted Nathan, warning him about the meeting. His response came immediately, telling her not to go alone, offering to be nearby. At 3 o'clock, Olivia walked into the hotel restaurant with her phone in her pocket, Nathan's number ready to call if needed. Vincent sat at a corner table, looking every bit the successful businessman in his expensive suit and designer watch. Sit down, he commanded without preamble. Olivia sat, keeping her face neutral. Vincent leaned forward, his eyes cold and calculating. I hear you have been spending time with Nathan Pierce. Would you care to explain that to me? Olivia's mind raced. He is a hotel guest. We have spoken occasionally. That is all. That is all, Vincent repeated mockingly. Do not lie to me, Olivia. I always find out the truth eventually. And when I do, the consequences for lying are severe. He stood up, dropping money on the table. You belong to me until that debt is fully paid. Do not forget that. And do not think Nathan Pierce can save you from me. I destroyed him once before, and I will do it again if necessary. Vincent walked away, leaving Olivia sitting alone and trembling. She pulled out her phone and called Nathan immediately. We have a serious problem, she said when he answered. I know, Nathan replied grimly. I just received a very interesting message from Vincent myself. We need to meet tonight. There is something important I need to tell you about our situation. As Olivia left the restaurant, she could not shake the feeling that everything was about to become far more complicated than either of them had anticipated. Olivia met Nathan that evening at a different location, a small coffee shop on the outskirts of town where neither of them would be recognized. When she arrived, Nathan was already there, looking more tense than she had ever seen him. He stood when she entered, and without thinking, Olivia walked straight into his arms. They held each other for a long moment, drawing strength from the connection. I received a message from Vincent this afternoon, Nathan said as they sat down at a secluded corner table. He is threatening to expose certain business dealings from my early years, things that were technically legal but would look questionable to investors and board members if presented in the wrong light. Olivia felt guilt wash over her. This is happening because of me. Because you tried to help me. No, Nathan said firmly, taking her hands across the table. This is happening because Vincent Kane is a manipulative person who cannot stand losing control. This was never about the money, Olivia. This is about power. He sees you as his possession, and he sees me as someone who once humiliated him professionally. What are we going to do? Olivia asked, her voice barely above a whisper. We fight back, Nathan replied with determination in his eyes. But I need to tell you something first. The money transfer has already gone through. As of this morning, your debt to Vincent is completely paid off through the Educational Foundation grant. Olivia gasped. But Vincent will know. He will investigate. Let him investigate, Nathan said. The foundation is legitimate, established 5 years ago, with dozens of recipients. Your grant was processed through proper legal channels. There is nothing he can do about it legally. Tears filled Olivia's eyes. You actually did it. You freed me from him. We freed you, Nathan corrected gently. But Vincent is not going to accept this gracefully. Which is why I spent today meeting with my lawyers and a private investigator I trust completely. What did you find out? Olivia asked. Nathan pulled out a folder from his bag. Vincent has been operating several questionable business ventures. Money laundering through shell companies, harassment and intimidation of former business partners, possible fraud in real estate transactions. My investigator found evidence that could result in serious legal consequences for him. You want to turn him in, Olivia realized. I want to protect you, Nathan said. And I want to make sure he can never do this to anyone else again. But I need your permission. This will bring attention to you, possibly require you to testify about his behavior toward you. Olivia thought about Maria, who had helped her when she was desperate. She thought about Tom, who deserved to grow up without fear. She thought about all the other people Vincent had probably hurt over the years. Do it, she said with more confidence than she felt. Whatever it takes to stop him. Over the next 3 days, events moved rapidly. Nathan's lawyers contacted federal authorities with the evidence they had compiled. Vincent was called in for questioning. The news hit business circles quickly, and Vincent's carefully constructed reputation began crumbling. But Vincent was not going down without a fight. On the 4th day, Olivia was at work when security called her to the lobby. Vincent was there, demanding to speak with her. Maria stood protectively nearby as Olivia approached. You think you have won, Vincent said quietly, his voice filled with cold rage. You think Nathan Pierce can protect you from me? The debt is paid, Olivia said, keeping her voice steady despite her fear. You have no claim on me anymore. I made you, Vincent hissed. Without my money, your mother would have died. Your brother would have dropped out of school. You owe me everything. I owed you money, Olivia corrected. And that debt is settled. What I never owed you was control over my life. Vincent stepped closer, and Maria immediately moved between them. Security, she called out firmly. This guest is harassing my staff member. 2 security officers approached quickly. Vincent looked at them, then back at Olivia. This is not over, he promised. Not by a long shot. As security escorted Vincent from the hotel, Olivia felt her knees go weak. Maria caught her arm, supporting her weight. You were so brave, Maria said proudly. I have never seen you stand up to him like that. I had help, Olivia replied, thinking of Nathan and the strength he had given her. That evening, Nathan called with news. The federal investigation was moving forward rapidly. They had found enough evidence to file formal charges against Vincent for fraud and money laundering. It would take time to build the complete case, but Vincent's ability to hurt people was being systematically dismantled. How are you feeling? Nathan asked gently. Scared, Olivia admitted. Relieved. Hopeful. Everything all at once. Come over to my place, Nathan suggested. We should talk about what happens next. Olivia took a taxi to the address Nathan provided, expecting an expensive apartment building. Instead, she found herself at a beautiful renovated townhouse in a quiet residential neighborhood. Nathan answered the door in casual clothes, looking more relaxed than she had seen him in days. This is your home, Olivia said, looking around at the warm, comfortable interior. It felt nothing like she expected. There were books on shelves, art on the walls that looked personally chosen rather than professionally decorated, photos of family scattered throughout. This is my real home, Nathan confirmed. Not the penthouse downtown that I use for business entertaining. This is where I come when I want to remember who I actually am. He led her to a comfortable living room where he had prepared dinner. Nothing fancy, just pasta and salad, but made with obvious care. As they ate, Nathan brought up the subject that had been on both their minds. Olivia, these past 2 weeks with you have been the most genuine connection I have experienced in years. Maybe ever. I feel the same way, Olivia said softly. When this situation with Vincent is fully resolved, Nathan continued, I want to help you pursue your design dreams. Not as charity, but as an investment in someone with real talent. Olivia started to protest, but Nathan held up his hand. Hear me out. I have connections in the fashion industry through various business ventures. I can arrange meetings with design houses, help you build a portfolio, maybe even fund a small boutique if that is still your dream. Why would you do all this? Olivia asked, though she thought she knew the answer. Because somewhere along the way, between accidentally walking into your life and now, I fell in love with you, Nathan said simply. And I want to see you shine the way you were always meant to. Olivia felt tears spill down her cheeks. I love you too. I think I started falling for you that first day when you asked if I was okay. Nobody had asked me that in so long. They moved toward each other, and when Nathan kissed her, Olivia felt like she was finally coming home after a long journey through darkness. The next month brought significant changes. Vincent was formally charged and arrested. The evidence against him was overwhelming, and his lawyers were scrambling to negotiate a plea deal. Olivia had to give a deposition about his harassment and threats, which was difficult but cathartic. Nathan stood by her through everything, attending meetings with lawyers, holding her hand during difficult conversations, reminding her constantly that she was strong enough to face this. Maria was thrilled about their relationship, though she scolded Olivia for keeping it secret for so long. Tom was protective at first, carefully observing Nathan during their first meeting, but he gradually warmed up when he saw how genuinely Nathan cared for his sister. 3 months after that accidental meeting in the hotel room, Olivia enrolled in evening design classes at a local college. Nathan had offered to pay for the full Fashion Institute program, but Olivia wanted to earn her way gradually, balancing work and education. Nathan respected her independence and simply made sure she had the resources and support she needed. She continued working at the hotel, but now on a reduced schedule that allowed time for her studies. Maria had become like family, constantly encouraging her and celebrating every small success. Nathan introduced Olivia to Miranda Valdez, the design judge who had believed in her years ago. Miranda remembered Olivia immediately and was thrilled to learn she was pursuing design again. She became an informal mentor, reviewing Olivia's work and providing guidance. 6 months into their relationship, Nathan took Olivia to a small gallery opening in the Arts District. She was surprised to discover it was actually a pop-up exhibition space for emerging fashion designers. I rented this space for you, Nathan explained. For 3 months, you can showcase your designs here. Build your portfolio, connect with potential clients, see if this is really what you want. Olivia was speechless, overwhelmed by his faith in her abilities. I believe in you, Nathan said simply. Now you need to believe in yourself. Olivia threw herself into creating a collection. She worked late nights and early mornings, pouring all her experiences, struggles, and newfound hope into her designs. The collection told a story of transformation, of breaking free from constraints, of finding strength in vulnerability. The opening night was magical. Tom came, proud and amazed by his sister's talent. Maria attended with several other hotel staff members who had supported Olivia over the years. Nathan stood back, letting Olivia shine in her own spotlight. Miranda Valdez arrived with several fashion industry professionals. They walked through the exhibition, examining each piece carefully. Olivia's heart raced as she watched them discuss her work. At the end of the evening, Miranda approached with a wide smile. Olivia, these designs are extraordinary. You have grown so much as an artist. Several boutiques have already expressed interest in carrying your pieces. Really, Olivia could hardly believe it. Really, Miranda confirmed. And I would like to feature your work in an upcoming showcase I am organizing for emerging designers. This is your moment. Olivia found Nathan in the crowd. He was watching her with such pride and love that she felt her heart might burst. She made her way to him, and he pulled her into his arms. I am so proud of you, he whispered. None of this would have happened without you, Olivia replied. No, Nathan said firmly. This happened because you have incredible talent and determination. I just helped remove some obstacles. The rest was all you. 1 year after their first meeting, Nathan and Olivia stood in that same hotel room, 318, where everything had begun. The hotel management had agreed to let them return for a private moment. Do you ever wonder what would have happened if I had gone to the correct room that day? Nathan asked, holding Olivia close. I try not to think about it, Olivia admitted. The idea of never meeting you is too painful. I walked into the wrong room, Nathan said softly, and found exactly what I did not know I was looking for. Olivia had launched her own small boutique now, a cozy shop in the arts district that showcased her designs alongside pieces from other emerging artists. It was modest but growing steadily. Tom had graduated high school and earned a scholarship to study engineering. Their mother's health had stabilized with proper medical care that they could now afford. Vincent had accepted a plea deal and was serving time in federal prison. His business empire had collapsed completely. Olivia felt no satisfaction in his downfall, only relief that he could no longer hurt anyone. Nathan's business continued thriving, but he had found better balance in his life. He spent less time in endless meetings and more time on projects that mattered to him personally, including a foundation that helped young entrepreneurs from disadvantaged backgrounds. 2 years after that chance meeting, Nathan proposed to Olivia in that same hotel room, bringing their story full circle. He had arranged everything with the hotel management, transforming the simple room into a beautiful space filled with flowers and candles. I walked into the wrong room, Nathan said as he got down on one knee, and found the right person. Will you marry me? Olivia said yes through happy tears, and they held each other in that space where their journey had begun. Their wedding was small and intimate, held in the riverside park where they had spent so many evenings talking and dreaming together. Maria served as Olivia's maid of honor. Tom walked his sister down the aisle. Miranda Valdez attended, delighted to see her former student thriving. As Olivia and Nathan exchanged vows, promising to support each other through whatever challenges life brought, Olivia reflected on how dramatically her life had changed. She had gone from feeling trapped and hopeless to feeling free and full of possibility. Sometimes the wrong door leads to exactly the right place, Olivia whispered to Nathan as they shared their first dance as husband and wife. Sometimes love finds us when we are not even looking for it, Nathan replied, holding her close. And sometimes, Olivia thought, a single moment of unexpected connection can change everything. A billionaire had entered the wrong room and found her shocked. But instead of just walking away, he had stayed. He had seen her. He had believed in her. And together, they had built something beautiful from that chance encounter. Their love story had begun with a mistake, a wrong turn in a hotel hallway. But it had led them to exactly where they needed to be, to the life they were meant to build together. As they danced under the stars, surrounded by the people who loved them, Olivia knew that every struggle, every sacrifice, every difficult moment had been worth it to arrive at this place of joy and possibility. The wrong room had been the right room all along. The end.